Okay, today we're going to do an overview of Interzoid's various data matching capabilities. And by data matching, we mean the ability to find redundant or duplicate data within datasets, databases, across datasets, matching data, even where you get inconsistencies in, for example, a company name or an address or an individual's name, or you have nicknames like Jim and James, Tom and Thomas, and of course a whole litany of different nicknames from all over the world. This difficult can be difficult to match, and Interzoid's products and technology have been built to help overcome this kind of problem. So let's take a deep dive into some of Interzoid's matching capabilities. The first thing that we'll do is scroll down to some examples. Looking here, you can see, for example, all the different ways that HSBC Bank could appear in a database or in multiple data sets, Apple, IBM, and so forth, or names, different ways that Tom Johnson might appear. This, of course, makes it very difficult to identify redundancy within a data set, which can cause all kinds of problems. Think of a CRM system, for example. If you have multiple sales agents contacting the same person because they're in the CRM database multiple times, that, of course, is a communication problem and can make it look very poor on your organization from the perspective of a customer. And so we want to identify cases where we have this type of duplicate data. For example, in an insurance claim database, you might have Geico in there 10 different ways. That can make it very difficult to do any type of claims analysis. Or perhaps there's some third-party data you want to match your data against and get additional information about all of the entities in your various data sets. That will be difficult to do, and your match rates will be very low if you're doing exact matching. But if you use a sophisticated matching capability like Interzoid provides, well, then of course you can get a much higher match rate and go from, say, 10% matching to 90% matching because you've got a capability here to be able to identify all these different types of permutations of data that might occur. So let's look at some of the various products that Interzoid has. It all starts with the various APIs. Now we can go directly here under the products menu to company name matching, individual name matching, US street address matching, and so forth. But if we click on View API Products, we can get more of a bird's eye view here and see some of the various data matching APIs. And I think here, for example, things like the Get Company Match Similarity Key, Full Name Match Similarity Key. The reason why it's referred to as a similarity key is the way that Interzoid works. If, for example, we take something like, let me go ahead and make this screen smaller. You can see I've got B of A, Bank of America. Using the Interzoid API, these two permutations of Bank of America are going to generate the same similarity key. Same with GE and General Electric. Gen Electric will generate this similarity key. And of course, Thomson Inc. will generate a completely different one. And then the way to overcome all of these inconsistencies is we actually match on similarity key rather than the data itself. And the nice thing is if you sort after appending similarity keys to various pieces of data, that enables you to, after the sorting occurs, all of the various company names will line up next to each other because you'll be sorting by similarity key. And so that's one example. You can see here's an API call that will generate the similarity key. Here's a request, get company match advanced, license is equal to your API key that you get from us. That's how we recognize and provide access. And then the company name and the algorithm. And this will in turn generate the following similarity key. And that's all you need to do. And you've got a similarity key, so you can just call the API over and over for every record in your database. And so that's one example. If we go back to our list, we've also got a full name match similarity key. So it's the same general idea. James Kelly, Jim H. Kelly will all generate the same similarity key. And of course, this is a different API call because full names include things like understanding nicknames and nickname libraries and so forth that help us generate the same similarity key in a different way than you would do with company names. And so that's why it's important to use the right API for the right type of data. Again, we can see get address match similarity key, same thing, but this time with addresses. 500 East Main Street and 500 East Main will generate the same similarity key. And so these are all generating it from one piece of data, one column of data. But if you go back to the main list, you can see we've got things here like get company and address match. So it takes the company name and the address to generate a similarity key. And you can see here that they will only match if the company name and address is similar. So we call that a combined similarity key. And then of course with IBM 500 Oak Drive, that'll generate a different similarity key, even though the company names are the same because the addresses are different. And so we have a lot of different ways to generate these similarity keys. And then another way to use those, with these various APIs, you need to write a line of code to generate the similarity key and have the ability to program in some way. But we also have some various tools, such as our quick and easy data matching wizard. And if you go here, you can do all the same stuff from a CSV file and not have to write any code. And it will actually identify the matches from within that CSV file. And so it's as simple as here getting started. And so, for example, I can choose company name matching, individual name matching, or these various combination matching sets that we saw. And so, let me move the screen over a little bit to make it a little more clear. I can just choose company name matching, click next, and then it's going to ask me to browse for a file. So I can click on, for example, companies, click open. It's going to load that file, and it's going to give me there's just a one column text file with a bunch of company names. So it shows me the first 5 records, so I can understand that I do indeed have the correct file and what the data looks like and that it is readable. If I click next, I'm going to use the company name column as the matching column, and we'll show the similarity keys in the output. And we'll only show the records that match, so the ones that don't, we won't show. Then I'll click next. Get our final review on everything that we're doing, and then I'll simply run the match. And then that generates the following. So you can see it found the various versions of Snowflake, Databricks, IBM, Google, different misspellings and so forth, all by using the similarity key. So this is essentially a match report identifying all the permutations and inconsistencies that exist in this particular data set. And of course, if I don't want the keys to show up, I can simply choose no as an option. Or if I want all the records, I would just do matches only equals no. And so this just shows the way these similarity keys and these different algorithms and APIs, and then the browser-based batch tool, if you want to use that, this matching tool, can all be used to help reduce the amount of duplicate or redundant data that you have in your various data sets. Or, of course, it can be used to match, if these data permutations, for example, of IBM were in different data sets, I could use the similarity key as a basis of the match. So it's not just, again, for one data set, but if you're using the API, you can do whatever you want. So, you can become creative in your use of these searching mechanism in a call center, for example. All kinds of different ways that this stuff can be used. And so that's kind of a deep dive look. If you have specific questions or a specific use case you'd like to discuss, contact us at support@interzoid.com, and we'd be happy to see if we can help you out. Thank you.